Hello, hello, hello. This is Gepwin, and I am here to bring you all your Mac gaming news, reviews, and gameplay. Today's bit of news, the weekly Steam deals. I'm going to try to do this every week, take you through the Steam deals that are important to you, i.e. Mac games. Every week, if you don't know Steam updates, it's sales. They have a weekly sales, a whole bunch of games. I'm going to take you through the ones that will run on our favorite system. First up is Annodyne. This is 66% off, bringing it to $3.40. This one is somewhat Zelda-esque. Middle of the line reviews. I have not played this one. I will be honest. I have not played most of the ones on the list this week. I have not played every game in the world, so I'm going to try to let you know if I am going off of actual experience or if I did a bunch of research. But keep in mind, I do research on the ones that I have not played and the ones that I did play, so take what you will. So Annodyne, fairly Zelda-esque, actually takes a lot of visual inspiration, if not actual art from Zelda. It's very difficult to tell from the screenshots, but incredibly similar to your Zelda games. Almost identical mechanics, very similar art, except that it's very stripped down. There are no items, simplistic puzzles, kind of finicky control. A lot of people complained about the control scheme and the nearly non-existent story combined with the simplistic puzzles. Kind of middling to low reviews on this one mostly. If you want a Zelda game, then maybe get it. But the new Zelda is coming out soon, or is already out. I don't know what Nintendo's up to. I am a Mac person. But if you want a Zelda, maybe get the 3DS one. There is a $1.99 mobile version of Annodyne, but it seems to be a fairly straight-over port with bad controls. Excuse me, very bad controls. From what I have heard, most people saying it is nearly unplayable on the tablet. Next up is Timeline's Assault on America. I have not played this one either. It is an alternate history where the Nazis and the Japanese invade America during World War II. This one is 20% off, bringing it to $11.99. That is the most expensive game on the list. Don't know how worth it sounds. Kind of middle of the road reviews. Controls little clunky, difficult to build up. It's an RTS game, but according to most people, seems like the game moves too quickly and there's not enough fine control to allow you to do any kind of major strategy. It's mostly just build up as much as you can, assemble all your forces in a point, and push through. So if you want a fairly, sounds like simplistic RTS, maybe give it a go. Is a little bit expensive. I think there are better options out there for you. Next up is Shelter. This looks very interesting. It's 50% off, bringing it to $4.99. I have not played this one either, but I've seen a lot about it. It is very interesting art style, kind of looks like paper cutouts and things. You are a mother badger who has to get her young ones through the wild. So, interesting concept, kind of explores a narrative centering around motherhood and survival, animalistic traits, all kinds of interesting things like that. Main gripe people were having is it is fairly simplistic and it is very short, clocking in just under an hour for most people. I've heard 2 hours if you're playing very slowly. So maybe give it a try for $5. I think I might give it a try for the $5 because it has such a unique look and sound, but if $5 is not worth it for an hour of gameplay to you, then maybe avoid this one. Next up is Spectra Ball. This is a Marble Madness 3D kinda. 33% off, excuse me. That's 33% off, bringing it to $3.34. So many threes. Gonna get confusing. $3.34 for that one. It's been described as Marble Madness in 3D, sort of. It looks apt to me. Another one I haven't played. I told you I haven't played most of these. Unfortunate for the week. And middling reviews, kinda short game from what I've heard. Very few levels. Levels seem to have a very distinct flavor to them. All the levels seem very unique, very interesting, kind of fun to get through. But it's just kind of a fairly simplistic 3D platformer, and also a bit short, and from what I've heard, bad checkpoints. So if you are easily frustrated by your platformers, maybe give it a miss. For for a little over $3, maybe get it. There's not a ton of other 3D platformers that are that much, though I think there are some good platforming options around. So maybe take a look around at the platformers you enjoy before you pick this one up, but it's not a bad price on it. Next up, Lunar Flight. That's 50% off, bringing it to $4.99. I think I might pick it up for that price. Looks very interesting. Just a note on this one, it requires DirectX 9 to play, so keep that in mind. I believe you can get that free most places now, so someone let me know if I'm mistaken on that, but just something to keep in mind before you download this one. This looks pretty interesting, to be honest. Lunar Flight, people are saying it's a very nice style of simulator game. Also, just kind of looks like that old Lunar Lander arcade game, but in 3D. You are piloting a lunar lander. You have to take supplies to the moon, fly around the lunar surface. Very, very interesting looking. Well done. Apparently very good art, though I have seen only screenshots. I don't know how it works in video that much. I did see a gameplay video from a few weeks back, I think. Also, if this sounds interesting to you, you should buy it for $5. There is multiplayer, and the multiplayer involves, I believe, some competitive challenges, but also a deathmatch mode where you go against another lunar lander, both equipped with rockets, chasing lunar landers across the surface of the moon, firing rockets at each other. If that sounds interesting to you, you should probably pick this up for $5. Also, if you're one of the 4 or 5 people who have an Oculus Rift, it supports it. Apparently, from the very small base of Oculus Rift owners, this is a must-play for the Oculus. So, might recommend that for the sale. Definitely, if you have an Oculus Rift, the game supports it. Definitely, probably pick it up for that. Though, I know no one who actually has one of the things. Finally, the games that I have played. Yes, something I can give you my actual opinion on, not ones that I have researched. This is Valley Without Wind 1 and 2, a package. It is 75% off, bringing it to $3.74. Maybe give this one a miss. I know it's the only one I've played, so it's disappointing. Valley Without Wind 1, I actually enjoyed it more than 2, but not all that much for either. It's sort of a exploration-based platformer with an odd fighting mechanic, trying to work in some base building. Very, very difficult to describe, not particularly well done. From what I heard, Valley Without Wind 2 was meant to be sort of an apology for Valley Without Wind 1 being horrible. So that probably tells you about what to expect. Valley Without Wind 2 added a kind of overmap strategy something quasi-chess element, and then you went into platforming fighting missions in between that with some weird base building and resource management mechanics. Interesting idea, but none of it comes together really to do anything that interesting. I apologize if you can hear that sweet street sweeper. I'm sitting close to the window than normally because the apartment's a bit weird. Back to my point, Valley Without Wind 1 and 2, even for under $4, maybe give it a miss. I picked them up in a Humble Bundle a while ago and kind of regretted it, honestly, even in a Humble Bundle. So, those are your Steam sales for the week. I think the standout in this one is probably Lunar Flight. Take a good hard look at that one, but do check the system requirements. It's a little wonky. But from what I've heard, that's probably the best one available right now. Maybe look at Shelter if you want something a little offbeat. Interesting art style, interesting storyline. I hope this helps. I'm going to try to bring this to you every week. Look at the Steam deals that matter to you. As always, I am Gepwin. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, do all those fun YouTubey things. Play with the comments if you can. I know the Google Plus thing is... Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.